Steeler Nation, welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. And also welcome back to some other Ravens fans out there who've recently found my content because I made a video yesterday or the day before saying that the Ravens suck. And I still feel that way. I think the Ravens had a really good chance to go to the Super Bowl with their team, but they got done by the Bills. And now Lamar Jackson is 2-5, 3-5 in the playoffs. He can win all the MVPs, but he can't win the Super Bowl. And speaking of Super Bowl, I thought it'd be a fun idea to rank the teams 1-4 or 4-1 for which teams I think or I want to see in the bowl. Now, we see in the KC Chiefs, they're 2 times in a row, and I think we're getting a bit exhausted of just seeing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl with Mahomes and the refs and all those things happening. It's a bit frustrating and it's not as fun. Like, I want to see if you can, as an observer or fan of the NFL, I wouldn't mind seeing some fresh teams in there. You know, like, I don't know, put the Cardinals back in there if they're playing well, the Falcons or whoever, right? But we are left with KC, Bills, Eagles, and the Washington Commanders. So I thought it would be a fun idea to rank them from 4-1 who I want to see win the Super Bowl in New Orleans, Super Bowl 59. Rightio. And I think you guys, the first one is super, super easy. And I think most of the fan base out there, all 31 teams, from Jaguars to Titans, New York Jets, Green Bay Packers, Buffalo Bills. So many people out there do not want to see this team win the Super Bowl. And I've got the KC Chiefs. I legit don't want to see 3. I legit am sick of seeing Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. I'm really getting over the fact that the narrative is at play and the riggery is at play as well, where the NFL seems like they're giving the Mahomes and the Chiefs a bit of an extra hand, more of an advantage, and say, oh, you knocked it out of bounds, here's a flag. Oh, you scraped the top of my helmet, here's a flag. You were designed a runner, you went to slide, and you were meant to be a runner, and you only got tackled like half-heartedly, or a little bit soft, here's a flag. So KC, I don't want to see you win the Super Bowl 3, and because of course as well, KC, they'll be talking about it forever and forever, that Patrick Mahomes led. And I'm not saying, look, Pat Mahomes, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play. But it's getting exhausting because it feels like they're getting overall a lot of help in that way, right? So I don't want to see that. I don't want to see KC go hoist Lombardi 3 times in a row. I just sick of seeing that same movie being played over and over. The next team I don't want to see, well, the next team I would, if I had to choose any team, would be the Eagles being number 3. Kind of a cool, like an interesting story. They've only won, when I went to my stats, they've won a Super Bowl back in 2017. That was with the Nick Foles, or was it Nick Foles or Carson Wentz or whoever it was, a double team there. They won the Super Bowl, and they talked about the Philly special and all those kind of things. That's when they beat New England. And of course, they were versing the Chiefs 2 years ago in 2000 and I think 23, I think it was, or 2 years ago, it was Chiefs versus Eagles. So that could be an interesting one for the Eagles to win again. I wouldn't mind seeing Jalen Hurts win or Saquon Barkley for that sense, but I'm rating them at 3. The next one is Buffalo. If you guys don't know and you look into your history, it is quite a story. The 4 falls of Buffalo. I don't hate the Buffalo Bills. I think they're a crazy fan base, crazy team. I wasn't super sold on Josh Allen like last year or the year before, how he would just, he was a gunslinger making TDs, but then he would, have a lot of turnovers. But it looks like that Josh Allen has definitely turned his game around from running the rock in. I thought he played really well against the Ravens by getting TDs and moving the ball. His stats weren't there in the passing game last game, but I think he's turning into that franchise quarterback the Bills need. And I kind of wish the Steelers had again. We haven't got a franchise quarterback. We had Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and now we have no one signed for the Steelers. So my number 2 team to go and win it all, because the Buffalo Bills, I don't want to see KC represent themselves in the Super Bowl. So I'm choosing Buffalo Bills to beat KC to at least have a chance to represent themselves in the Super Bowl. That's what I want to see. But if they were to win it, Buffalo Bills, I think it was, and sorry to remind everyone who are Buffalo Bills fans, from 1991 to 92, 93, 94, the Buffalo Bills went to 4 Super Bowls in a row and didn't win one of them. They lost to the New York Giants 19-20. They lost to Washington Redskins at the time 24-37. Lost to Cowboys 17-52. Lost to the Cowboys 13-30. And me being an NFL head, NFL stat head, NFL, love the law, love the football, love everything about football and its history. I find that kind of crazy. The fact that the team went 4 times in a row and just didn't get the job done. Back in the 1990s, I would have been like, what, 3 or 4? It was 1991. So I would have been, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Have no clue about football even existed. So my team there for number 2 to get it done would be the Bills, to then eventually get on the scoreboard and win their first ever Super Bowl. And the Buffalo Bills fans would go absolutely crazy. And I do say thank you to the Bills fans and the Bills team for knocking out the Ravens. So that to me would be cool. But the last one I want to talk about, and you guys already know who it is, because there was only 4 teams in this AFC Championship game and also NFC Championship game to go to the Super Bowl in New Orleans, is the Washington Commanders. Now, for one reason alone, one reason alone, and there's more reasons too, but for one big reason, it's to finally see a rookie quarterback go into the Super Bowl and win it. To my account, I'm pretty sure that no rookie quarterback has ever won the Super Bowl. So that would be insane to take a team with Dan Quinn. I think he's first-year coach as well. They've played quite competitively in their division. They've beaten the Buccaneers. They've beaten the Lions. They're a wild card team as well at number 6. Rookie quarterback, I do like Scary Terry McLaurin. I think he's awesome. Beach Robinson, I think he's a good running back too. The other guy, the other second running back, his name's Eckler. He used to play for the Chargers. He's really fun to watch. This will be kind of a cool story to get behind. The Commanders obviously had some really, dark history recently with their owner and that kind of stuff, changing the name, all those kind of things. But the Washington Redskins back in the day, they've been to, I think it says here they've been to 5. So back in the 70s, 73, they lost to Miami. 83, they won it versus Miami 27-17. 84, they lost to the Raiders 38-9. And the Super Bowl was in 1988 and 1992. They won versus Denver 42-10, and they beat the Bills 34-24. So could we see a matchup again with the Washington Commanders versus the Bills? I think that's my matchup. Like, I'm happy if the Eagles make it. I just don't want the Chiefs to make it out of anyone. So the Super Bowl, yeah, that's Washington. Redskins back in the day have been to 5, and they've won 3. So they're 3-2. But this is a new owners, new team, new name, Commanders, also rookie quarterback. I think that's my storyline for the rest of the time. And talking about, next week is AFC Championship, then it's NFC Championship, then we have like a week off. And we're still like 2 or 3 weeks away from the Super Bowl. It's a long, long season. Like, teams right now are trying to find head coaches, often offensive coordinators, players, getting ready for the free agent period. And there are still 4 teams left. And if the fan bases, I think most of the fan base around the NFL do not want this one down here, the KC Chiefs, to go anywhere. I think people would be okay with the Eagles winning one again. I think fan bases would be okay with the Buffalo Bills finally getting one. And MVP Josh Allen could have a crazy 2 games over the Chiefs, and then well-deserved maybe a win over the Commanders or Eagles. And also the NFC East matchup with the Commanders versus the Eagles. So it's all kind of exciting. But one of the main points is I just don't want the Chiefs to win another one to be 3. So my list was Commanders, Bills, because they're 0-4, Eagles, they're 1-0, and the KC Chiefs, if they win another one, I believe they would move up to, I think, 4. And we have 5 championships. We have 6 in our history. And we all know that the KC Chiefs, Mahomes, Kelsey, Swift, they're so reliant and have a big advantage having the refs on their side. So anyway, Steel Nation and other teams out there, other members out there, other nations, other teams, let me know below what would be your 4-3-2-1 or your 1-2-3-4. Who do you want to see win the ultimate game, that is the Super Bowl in New Orleans, 59? Which out of these 4 teams? Mine's Commanders, Bills, Eagles, and Chiefs.